Top of the morning to you.
We decided to present about Irish immigrants. While researching, we were inspired to study this immigrant group when Sage told us she had Irish heritage. Major Irish immigration occurred primarily during the mid-1800s due to several interconnected push and pull factors. The Irish potato famine of 1845 spread from continental Europe to Ireland and destroyed 90% of their potato crop in 1846. British policies had forced Irish Catholics to labor for Protestant landowners, creating a huge Irish Catholic lower class. Laborers had no say in which crops to plant, and no plant ownership. This in turn made Irish farmers become totally dependent on potatoes, eliminating crop diversity. During the same period as the famine broke out, cholera did as well. The combination of these factors led to the widespread starvation and disease in Ireland. After the famine, nearly 2 million people left Ireland to go to the United States. Being in the midst of the Second Industrial Revolution meant that there were lots of jobs available for unskilled workers in the United States, a major pull factor. The U.S. also offered religious freedom.
A trip to the U.S. was dangerous and expensive, equivalent to the annual rent on a farm. To get to the U.S., the Irish traveled 5 to 6 weeks across the Atlantic in what were referred to as coffin ships. The vessels were overcrowded and unsanitary, causing a high death toll and many to contract typhus. After arrival, the Irish moved to large urban centers like New York City, Boston, Chicago, and Philadelphia, often staying close to the ports that they came in through. They lived in tenements, sometimes with 10 to 1 room, living in constant fear of disease and fires. Once they were settled, many Irish men went to work building the nation's cities, canals, and railroads, including the eastern side of the Transcontinental Railroad. In contrast, Irish women mainly worked in factories or as domestic servants. Their hard work and willingness to accept reduced pay made them attractive to industrial giants like Alexander Carnegie. They faced endless discrimination in the workplace since people thought they were stealing American jobs. An example of this discrimination is the commonly known "no Irish need apply" sentiment. Even when some Irish had the skills to be a craftsman, many were forced into unskilled labor like meat packing. In addition to working, Irish men gathered in exclusively Irish pubs, such as this one established in 1854. Pubs were also a place of recruitment for political machines. Successful Irish immigrants would become ward bosses and offer favors to other Irish immigrants if they promised a Democratic vote. Violence would be encountered if a non-Irishman entered one of these buildings, for example, if a Scotsman walked into an Irish pub. They also came together at Catholic churches where an Irish priest spoke in their language. These areas gave the Irish an opportunity to celebrate and share their culture. The growth of Irish communities made Americans feel threatened. This fear led to the creation of the anti-immigrant and anti-Catholic Know Nothing Party. This group limited Catholic political power and required a 21-year naturalization process. The Know-Nothings promoted Irish stereotypes such as the drunkenness and hostility through political cartoons. These beliefs led to the creation of the term "don't get your Irish up," referring to the stereotypical Irish temper. For exploration of Irish culture led us to choose colcannon, soda bread, and soda bread pudding for our dishes. All three were made of simple, inexpensive ingredients perfect for poor immigrants.
We grabbed curly kale, potatoes, and even encountered some St. Patrick's Day decorations. Then green onions, flour, half and half, and buttermilk.
Now off to cook. First, we made soda bread, which became a staple of Irish cuisine because of its baking powder and soft wheat flour. This made it the cheapest type of bread to bake and the ideal choice for the poor working class. The use of baking soda in this bread led to the ingredient's name. Once the dough was made, a cross was cut on the top to ward off the devil and protect the household. Next, we made colcannon. This potato and vegetable dish was exclusively for rich Protestant landowners in Ireland. But in the US, where immigrants had a higher standard of living, they could afford or obtain through theft the ingredients that were unavailable to them in Ireland. Now time to eat!
We use the leftover soda bread to make Irish soda bread pudding. Though the bread was slightly stale, we soaked it in half and half to make it moist. Then, into the oven to bake. With that, the cooking was done. We eat!
Cooking these delicious Irish meals allowed us to dive into Sage's Irish heritage through food.